Welcome, everybody, to a super special episode of the Indie Reads Aloud podcast. Today, we are talking about a really cool project that starts very soon. It's a brand new book coming from Melinda Falgoust. She wrote and she drew the pictures for this amazing book. It's called Church the Surfin Staffy. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited about this project for you. This is awesome.
I am too. It is a fantastic project. It's been some years in the making, but it is now almost a reality. We are ready to go to print, but we are launching a Kickstarter campaign in order to raise funds for the first print run of Church Does Surfin Staffy, which is a really delightfully whimsical children's board book. And the really great thing about this story, Diana, is it's based on a real life Hawaiian surf pup turned therapy dog.
I read that in the description you sent over to me, and this is why I was so excited about it, because it's based in real life about a dog who has two careers, right? He's a surfer and he's a therapy dog.
That's
And
true.
I just love the opportunity to connect little people to this idea of service can be fun.
Absolutely. And believe me, I know from firsthand experience that Church and his owner, James Pamplin, make it an absolute joy. I've actually been on the board myself with Church.
How cool.
Yeah, out in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Maui. And I was I was terrified. I was terrified to get out on that board. I'd never been surfing before. The water, not being able to see what's underneath those waves.
Right.
You get a little sketch about getting up and doing something brand new. But having Church, his not so plush version, but his real life version on the board, he really helps everybody out. It's very soothing to actually just have him with you so you don't feel like you're out alone there on the board. But also, he uses his weight to help distribute the weight distribution on the board.
So he balances for you?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So there's actually a fantastic interview that takes place on YouTube. It was done in conjunction with the Raising Cane's surf dog competition that happened at the Duke's Ocean Fest in August of 2023. So I don't have the link in front of me right now, but if you look up Outrigger, and I actually, I'll probably get that before we wind up this podcast.
Yeah. Well, you can get it to me. We can put it in the show notes so everybody can go in when they read the show notes and go directly to that link. We can do that.
That sounds like a great plan.
So one of the, I want to, first of all, before we get into the fun of this, because I know that I have a lot of authors who follow the podcast. You're doing this program through Kickstarter.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit for the author people who are listening and watching, why you chose Kickstarter and just a real surface level overview of what Kickstarter is going to do or what you hope it's going to do for this project?
Sure. So overall, broad brushstrokes, Kickstarter is probably one of the most well-known, recognized names in crowdfunding. And crowdfunding has actually become a pretty big thing, especially for independent authors, to get projects going that might otherwise not have been feasible. And
Right.
there actually there are very, very loyal Kickstarter fans that out there who are clicked in with their favorites on publishing books, children's books, etc. And so when they log into Kickstarter to see what's coming new in the world of publishing, a lot of times, they'll come up with their list of their, new projects that they might be interested in, linked to things that they have shown interest to in the past on Kickstarter.
What a great opportunity to create literacy projects for people who are invested in literacy.
Absolutely.
It just sounds like a nice funnel to say, hey, all you people who want to support literacy, come here, find the project that you feel most aligned with and help support it. What a wonderful idea.
And there are also, one of the reasons why a lot of independent authors use Kickstarter as well is to be able to offer their loyal readership special items that might not otherwise be possible from the author's own pocketbook. For instance, fantasy authors or romance authors will offer special editions or boxed sets of their books. Let's say you're a dark romance vampire fantasy author. A lot of projects out there, you might have one that's faux leather bound, but it has like the painted edges.
Sure.
Projects that have not just the painted edges, but there's actually graphic artwork that appears along the pages of the book. So
these are like one of a kind special edition things that you get by backing a Kickstarter project that you wouldn't be able to get through normal channels.
Absolutely, you'll never find
So
anything.
The little guy you're holding on your lap, he's one of those special benefits people can get by supporting your Kickstarter, right?
He sure is. This is a plush version of Church. And when we were putting the campaign together, we really were emphasizing the service aspect and giving back to the community. And I mean, who doesn't love animals? I mean, like, come on,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this item here, this little lovely little fuzzy guy here, is produced by a company called Shelter Pets. Shelter Pets, I believe, is based out of California, but they give back a portion of their proceeds to support shelter animals. And every animal that they create, every stuffed animal that they've created for their line of Shelter Pets is actually based on a real animal. So that's kind of cool. It's got a little backstory to it.
So all the more reason why you partner with them to create Church in plush form, because he's a real dog.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. This little guy was originally based on another dog, but he looks exactly like Church.
Yeah, he sure does.
So,
I love his little sunglasses. They're so cute.
Yeah,
So
and
super cute. So I just want to real quick share my screen and show people what the Kickstarter page will look like. It comes up on Friday. It's going to be live, right? On Friday, the 22nd of March, correct?
it's yes, it is. That's exactly right.
Awesome. So as you go into this, I'm scrolling through, but this is the picture you're going to see at the beginning, and there's a really lovely video that Melinda did to introduce the program when you go in to learn more about it. So be sure to watch that. But as you scroll down, you're going to learn more about the book, and you're going to learn more about ways that you can support the project and the different rewards that you can receive for sponsoring at various levels. Now, this is kind of like PBS in the way that you say, hey, I want to support what you're doing, and Melinda's going to send you back a thank you gift for your level of support. When I read through it, it felt just like PBS. It was great. It was very easy to understand and no confusion whatsoever. I'd like to, you mention on this as we go through, there's a lot of neat stuff like a tote bag and an audio book and and just really, really fun, wonderful things. I just love the little stuffed animal. He's so darn cute. I want one.
And he comes surfboard.
Yeah, it comes with his surfboard, which I think is fantastic. I mean, really, a surfboarding dog, it's a wonderful idea. And there's special sunglasses, and there's a bookmark. There's all sorts of really special, cool things. And I'm guessing this is a picture of Church and his daddy James.
Yes, that is Church, the one and only, along with his owner and best friend for life, James Wiley Pamplin. And the two of them actually offer surf lessons out on the water. And you can reach them at beachfreshmaui.com.
Fantastic. So one of the other things I want to talk about before we talk about the books more is we're supporting shelter animals in one way by backing this project,
Mm-hmm.
but we're also doing something else for the Hawaii community. Can you talk about that?
So, what we are wanting to do is to, if this campaign makes its successful goal, which I am sure it will, with all of you fantastic supporters out there, is we would actually like to donate a portion of one of our stretch goals is to donate some money for the Lahaina wildfire victims. Now, there are some really just heartbreaking pictures that came out of Maui back around August of last year, as many of you may have seen on the news. But the town of Lahaina on Maui, which is not too far from where Church is actually from, was absolutely devastated by the wildfires that tore through the community. I've been to Lahaina on multiple occasions, and when I saw the photos, it was just, there were no words.
Yeah.
It's literally gone. Buildings razed to the ground, trees gone, the familiar landmarks gone, and it's just heartbreaking. And so for further the sort of service orientation that we're doing along with the book, we want to make sure that we pay it forward, and
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
like to do it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's it's a strange thing for me. When I saw it in the news, I had to almost do a double take because you don't expect a Hawaiian island to be decimated by wildfire. You accept something like tsunami
Mm.
or hurricane, you don't think wildfire on an island, but really there's nowhere for the people and the animals to go.
There were, it was a while before rescue crews for the animals in particular were allowed to go in there.
Yeah,
um and so finally, when that finally opened up and rescue crews were allowed to go in there, that was a relief, because there were a lot of stranded animals
sure.
that left. I've lived through the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, so not being able to go back to your home, see what was left, see who was, left,
Right. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just
I remember the news footage out of Katrina, all those poor stranded animals.
mhm.
My heart just ached for them. So I'm so happy to hear that you're doing, again, adding on to this amazing project. First of all, you're touching children with literacy. You're reminding them of the importance of community service, and you're supporting a community that really needs extra aid right now. So I don't know how this can't be a good karmic thing for everybody to support. I mean, I just think we need to scream it from the rooftops and share it with everybody. If you believe in karma, if you believe in doing a good turn, if you believe that your name is going to be inscribed in the book of life for next year by doing a good deed. This is the good deed to do because you're going to be covered on a lot of fronts. I'm so excited for this project. I just think it's awesome. And I love the book and I love the artwork. It's so beautiful. Would you be willing to share the book with us today?
I would. I happen to have a copy right
I'm
here.
so excited. This is like an international exclusive, right? Like
It
we need to hear the story.
This is the first time it is being read anywhere.
Oh my gosh. It's so awesome. I'm so excited. When you are ready, please, Melinda, take the microphone and read aloud.
I will. Church de Surfin Staffy. Once there was a tiny pup who needed a good home, born on Maui Island, where the ocean waters foam. A dude who surfed a lot and lived along the shore. A surf spot they called Churches was just out his back door. The man, called James, decided then the perfect thing to call his newfound friend. He'd call him Church. The pair, they had a ball. The silly pup, he chased the waves, barking like a fool, until the waves chased him instead. For Church, that was not cool. But James would not allow his friend to stay afraid for long. He took his friend out on a board, now surfs his siren song. Church surfed with James. He rode the waves, some high as 12 foot tall. And sometimes, too, he'd get back up when now and then he'd fall. People came from round the world to visit Church's home, to dance the hula, taste the grinds, and some to surf the foam. Church remembered, skipped a page. His buddy James would take them out and show them how to ride. But sometimes they would be afraid of the great big ocean wide. Church remembered way back when he was a little pup, uncertain of the splashing waves, and decided to step up. He worked with James to train, and then Church got his service rating. Now he helps kids, grown-ups too, to brave their fears and shaking. For Church and James, life is good, surfing out upon the ocean. They spend their days with one and all in sharing that emotion. So, on the board or on the beach, when life gives you a fright of the million ways to surf through life, if you're smiling, you've done it right.
Yeah. Awesome story. I love that story. And the art is amazing. Will you do me a favor and just open up the puppy page at the beginning and really show it to us? This is just such a cute little picture. He's just so super adorable. I love how you did the artwork. It looks like you could reach out and really pet him in that picture and feel his soft fur. And
On Kickstarter,
you can reach out. So I want to show everybody this again because this is just such a really, really cool thing. If you back this Kickstarter program, you can get your very own Church the Staffy surfing puppy with his very own little surfboard. This is just the coolest thing. It's going to be limited edition. You're not doing a lot of them. So, and they're not going to be available retail once the book leaves the Kickstarter program. So, if you would like to get your very own church puppy and surfboard and maybe give them to the special child in your life along with the story, you got to jump on Kickstarter. Look in the show notes. We're going to have a link to where you can jump on Kickstarter and support Melinda and her project, and also a link to James and how to contact him if you want to go surfing with church. And we'll also put a link in there for the charities that this project is supporting as well, so that you can learn more about how this program really is serving more than just an author writing a new book. This really is an accumulation of wonderment and love reaching out to the community of Hawaii. So I'm just so excited for you. I think this is just such a really, really cool program. And I am so honored that you read the book on my program first.
You bet. It was wonderful to be able to come on here and share all of this. Like I said, this is a project that's been years in the making, and we're so excited that it's right there. And the only thing that will make our ohana complete is you and your support. And Diana, we thank you for your support and letting us come on here and talk a little bit project.
Always, always, you can always come back. And what I would really love to do is, when the Kickstarter kicks off, will you come back and do a reminder with us? And we'll talk about it again.
Absolutely.
And keep us updated on how it's progressing and how the project goes. I would love to just follow this to its very end and share with the world and other authors how this process works, and maybe give other authors an opportunity to get those imagination wheels turning about how maybe they can do something to give back to the community through a crowdfunding program as well.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much for your time today. It was so great talking to you.
You bet. See
Have
you
an
later.
awesome day.